welcome to Between the Pages. I'm your host, Grace Randolph, reporting from Midtown Comics in Times Square. And joining me today is guest Fernando Ruiz. You're an artist,
yes,
right?
I am.
And so why don't you tell everybody what you do? You have a great background.
I am an artist for Archie Comics, artist and writer. I've written for them as well. I currently pencil Life with Archie magazine. I pencil the Veronica half of the Life with Archie.
Oh, that's my favorite half.
Good, thank you. And in addition to my duties at Archie, I'm also an instructor at the Kubert School.
And that's actually how you got on this show.
Yes.
Yes, one of your students was watching this show.
Ryan
and
Sullivan.
Yes, and he said, you've got to put on Fernando Ruiz. He's fantastic. May I? He said he would be interested. I showed him your show. Can I give him your email? And I was like, please do.
I told him he's my agent.
Yeah.
He's booking me now.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
So one of the things I want to talk to you about today is, 2 weeks ago I talked to Brandon Montclair about what it takes to break into being a writer. And so I wanted to have an honest discussion with you today about what it takes to be an artist.
Sure.
Now, let me just tell you, writers feel that artists have an easier time.
I would say yes.
Oh, no,
They
it's
do.
true.
It is true. I think it is true.
Why would you say that is?
I think an artist has an easier time to get his point across because it's visual. You know, you look at my work and either you like it or you don't. Whereas with a writer, especially what the companies require of you in terms of a submission sample,
Yes.
it's tougher to gauge what a writer can do.
How did you get into being an artist?
Well, I always liked to draw. I was always an artist all my life, and I was always a comic fan. I went to college initially to be a fine artist. I wanted to be a landscape painter, but that call of the wild of comics kept beckoning. So after I graduated from college, I went to the Kubert School in Dover, New Jersey.
Yes.
And it's a 3-year program. And one of the great things about the school, because of Joe Kubert and Adam and Andy Kubert, who are very involved in the school has strong ties to the comic book industry.
Oh, excellent. It's like film school.
Absolutely,
right? Yeah.
absolutely, every level of it. So one of the great things that they do at the school is in the students' 3rd year, when they're finishing up, we either take the students to the different comic book companies in the tri-state area, or these companies are invited to the school. And they review the students' portfolios.
Oh, wow. So what was your first gig?
My very first gig.
Your first published gig?
My first published gig was Archie Comics.
Oh, wow. So they came to the school and they're like, we must have him.
Victor Gorelick, our editor-in-chief at Archie Comics, he came to the school with Dan DeCarlo, and they reviewed my portfolio. And I was very lucky that Victor was very generous, and he looked at my portfolio and he said, you know, you're ready for a story.
Wow.
So a week after I graduated, I went up to Archie for the first time, and he started me right away on a digest story.
Oh, nice. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember the title, but I remember it was Archie's Pals and Gals Double Digest number 8.
Nice.
I remember that because I
Did
waited.
you buy a bunch of copies?
Yes, yes, and I still have them.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So Life with Archie.
Yes.
That gig, I mean, as I said with Alex Segura last week, who was on the show, head of publicity for Archie Comics, that got me back into Archie Comics.
Oh, great.
You know, like I always say, like when you just think, Archie, pick somebody, you know, you're ready to move on. But when I went back to Life with Archie, what I love about it is how adult it is.
Yeah.
How do you like drawing that, and do you keep that in mind when you're drawing the comic?
I do. They're a little bit older, and the stories are a little more sophisticated. So it's a little more fun for me because I get to play a little more with the detail, and I get to draw some stuff that doesn't appear in the average Archie story.
Yeah, there's like Mr. Lodge is kind of a villain, right? So he's in the shadows.
He's a complex character.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think some big reveals are coming up.
There's a big reveal in just about every issue of Life with Archie. Almost every page of Life with Archie.
It's really very good. And then also, you drew a very important story lately.
Yes, I did.
The marriage of Kevin Keller. Well,
I like
one
to
half
think they
of
were
it,
all
right?
important.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. I love every single issue of Life with Archie. It's quite good. But this was a big one. This got a lot of attention. How did you feel? I mean, having your cover splashed all over the internet.
That was a lot of fun. I loved seeing the art go places. Yeah.
What's your favorite character to draw for Archie?
My favorite character has always been Reggie.
Really?
Yes.
Well, he's gotten a lot of attention in the Veronica half of that story,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I love his story.
Well, on that note, you know, talking about getting the script from the writer, all right, as an artist, is this something that you teach at Joe Kubert School, and also your own experience about etiquette and dealing between the artist and the writer? Because that's a very tenuous relationship and a lot of potential for landmines.
It can be. It can be. But the thing that I always stress to my students, and we do talk about this a lot at the school, you always have to remember, you're responsible for your end of this process. And you don't have control over what your writer does or what your inker does. That's their department. And ultimately, everyone has to yield to the editor. So you can't be you can be territorial to a point.
That's an excellent point, though. I think people that don't realize how much of a team effort comics are.
It is.
You know,
it's an assembly line.
All right, so to those people watching this video,
yes,
and they want to be an artist, and they haven't done nothing except dream about it, or even just occur to them right now, what would you say to them? What should their first step be?
Learn how to draw.
You would think that would be obvious, but not always. Yes.
You would think, but it's something some people take for granted.
What do you find the biggest thing that people overlook in their portfolios?
Two big things is figure drawing, which is something all of us can always work on forever. But the other thing is storytelling. And that's a big part, because we're not just drawing pretty pictures.
Ah, yes, a lot of splash pages people have in their portfolios, right?
Posters and splash. Everybody wants to do covers. Nobody wants to tell a story. but that's a key thing about what we're doing in comics, is we're not just drawing cool pictures of Spider-Man or Jughead or Archie. You know, we're telling stories with our pictures. And those pictures, as I tell my students, they have to make sense to someone who doesn't know what the story is.
Well, I would almost say a comic book artist is more of a cinematographer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a great overlap between film and comics, because both
you're
are telling.
picking the angle, you're picking, like, you know, some great things. Something else I wanted to ask you about was that there's no set way to write a comic book script. Right? I mean, there's
it's very wide open nowadays.
And so, as an artist, how do you feel in terms of the description of the panel? Because some people will do like the really detailed, like a whole page, and some people will just do something small. What works best for
well, I like to be flexible enough that I could work anyway. You know, I do like when the writer gets specific, because that leaves a little less guesswork for me.
Got it. You don't want to be later than be like, you totally missed this part.
Sure,
right?
sure. There can be like vague adjectives, like giant.
Oh, that's vague?
That's vague.
Oh, what do you need?
What's
Help the writers out there, the aspiring writers.
Yeah.
What should be in the...
If you tell me that Archie is facing a giant alien, is that giant like 20 feet tall or 200 feet tall? You know, there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
So, to me, the more information the writer gives me, I'm happy. You know, I'm happier, because it's just gonna go into the page. You know, and I'm happy to receive one of these Alan Moore length scripts, you know, that have like pages and pages for one panel.
Yeah, roll up your sleeves. You're like,
sure,
okay,
sure.
I'll get this in here.
I'll dig in and I'll find what's important here, and hopefully I do him a good service.
So is it something you enjoy, doing the teaching and the working at the same time and everything?
Yeah, I love teaching. I really enjoy it.
What specifically do you teach? What's your specialty? What's your class? If I'm going to sign up for your class, what do I sign up for?
Well, this year I'm teaching 3 classes.
Okay.
I'm teaching Narrative Art 1 to our first year students. I'm teaching Basic Drawing 1 to all of our first year students. And I'm teaching a new class, which is Advanced Technique and Style, the Art of the Graphic Novel.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Those sound like great classes.
Yeah, in that last class, the students actually make their own graphic novel, or at least a portion of it, to be able to make a pitch for a graphic novel. So it's really a fun
Do you
class.
recommend going to school for art?
Absolutely.
Art school? I don't think there is another one besides the Joe Kubert School, is
there? There are other programs, but really the Kubert School, with its connections, its proximity to the tri-state area, I really feel it's the place to be, and it certainly worked out for me, because that's where Archie found me, and it's been 18 years, so I've been very fortunate.